7 days I had with the equipment before coming on this 4-week stretch. So I think, if I sit back and analyse the last 3 weeks, overall I'm very, very happy, but slightly disappointed that I haven't managed to get across the line at HSBC, and obviously last week with having a 6-shot lead after 2 days, really pressed on and got the job done. But coming into a golf course which I like, I've had good success here, being picked by Robert Carlson in the playoff, and obviously Henrik last year. I like the golf course, I like the setup, and hopefully we can go one better than that.
Very good, thank you. We'll go straight into some questions. Phil, would you like to start us off?
Yeah. Ian, slightly disappointed sounds like a monster understatement. Just how annoyed were you Sunday night, and how determined are you to put that right?
I was really annoyed. Saturday was a bad day. It was a little stop-start from Friday afternoon through Saturday, not knowing that there was a lot going on. There was a lot of talk. There was a lot of discussion. Are we going to get it done on Saturday? Is the storm going to pass? Yes, there's electricity. What's happening? So probably got way too wrapped up in all of that nonsense and not focusing on the job in hand. And then when I got on the golf course, obviously I didn't do the job that I needed to do on Saturday, which left me obviously some work to do on Sunday. But pleased to play as well as I played on Sunday. But looking at how I played Sunday, missing a few opportunities that I had. Notably a great shot into 8, missed a 5-6 foot birdie putt there. And other opportunities around the back 9 really to really get the job done. 15, great chance at 15, outside chance at 17, and obviously had a look there on the last. So yeah, I'm very disappointed, but I'm over it. So I'm moving on to this week. I feel good about what's just happened in the last couple of weeks. 44 in the world rankings. Coming into this 4-week spell was nothing, nothing to be proud of. But obviously moving forward, up to 26, and hopefully can, with a big week this week, put myself back in a position where I salvage something out of 2014, because it was not looking good. So there are lots of positives out the last couple of weeks, and that for me is actually quite exciting.
Derek?
Paul, so there was a Twitter exchange with Greg Norman in which he intimated he could help you with your putting. Did you give him a ring?
I spoke to him last night, yes.
Were there things he said that...
Not telling you.
Why?
Because I don't know if they're going to work.
Did you like the sound of it?
I know Greg really well, and it was really nice of him to reach out. He noticed a couple of things, observations. I'd like to review the coverage, is what I'd like to do, just to see if his observations were my observations as well, because obviously, I've worked hard on my putt in the last couple of weeks, and I feel I've made good inroads. Obviously, a couple of putts have slid past, but I'd like to try and review them myself, as well as obviously having a great opinion from Greg, and I would respect his opinion. I will take on board what he said, and I will be on the putting green soon to hit some putts, and see if what he said is right or wrong. And it's very, it'd be very easy to just tell you, exactly what he said, but I'm not going to do that. So, because is it going to work? Isn't it going to work? I've been working really hard to try and hold putts, and it's started to happen the last couple of weeks. So, I'm running on a fine line right now, walking the fine line of, do I mess and try something and do, so it'll be unfair to say everything, what we discussed on the telephone and then all of a sudden see what happens this week. So I'll let you know Sunday night. How about that?
The other thing, you have got a great record in this stretch of tournaments at the end of the season. Is there anything...
I'm not moving over here, no. I'm not moving over here, no.
Is there anything you can learn going forward, though, with regard to schedule for the rest of the year? Is there anything that happens during this stretch that's pertinent to
I've tried to analyse it. I mean, I've tried to work out, why I've had good success. Maybe the time zone things might be a good one. That I don't get pestered on the telephone, maybe, or I don't know what it is. Why would I play well over a 4-week period and have had a lot of success in that gap? I don't know. I mean, obviously we look at it because you'd like to have that 4-week spell around early April and then kind of middle of June and then the middle of July, and but how do you assess what's happened? I mean, generally I've taken October off, and I've worked hard, and I've come out fresh and ready to play golf. It's obvious what's happened this year, taking as much time off as I've taken in terms of practice time, not actual playing physical time, but taking, having forced leave from practice has upset my golf game. Now I feel the last couple of months my body's able to go and practice, which I've done in the few weeks I had off before coming on this spell, and I feel ready to play golf. That hasn't been the case all year, but I have this stretch every single year after 3 or 4 weeks off in October, and that's when I've played a lot of good golf. So I just can't take 3 or 4 weeks off, before long runs all the time. I am going to perhaps take February off next year, just because I'd like to prep as much as I possibly can going into a long stretch of tournaments leading in through Augusta. I haven't really tried that one before, but we'll give that one a go and see if that spell of taking a break is actually going to make a difference or not.
David on the left.
Yeah, does it make a difference to you this year that you haven't got everything to aim for? I mean, does it take a little bit of the gloss off when you can chase the? Well, you haven't got the race. Obviously, Rory's son at the race to Dubai title, so you're only going for something.
For my title, that's second place at the minute because that number 1's gone. So
yeah,
there's still a big bonus for number 2.
Right.
And that would upset number 2 right now, which is who? Very good.
Yeah, same guy.
I'm still chasing Mr. Stenson down like I was chasing him last year. So
follow on from
we
that,
haven't had a bet, but anyway.
Well, you've just predicted my second question. Go on.
We haven't had a side wager because there's quite not there's not quite the same takedown if you take over the number 1 spot from Roy, because that's already gone, so it wouldn't have the same effect. But I can't work out I don't know how many points we're playing for this week, but I'm not sure. I could get close to second. Does anyone know how many points?
1,600,000.
How many euro points can we win?
It's worth $800,000 US.
I know that bit. I'm well aware of that.
1,766,600 points.
All right, 800,000 points. And how many points can we get to win?
1.6.
1.6.
Oh yeah.
Seconds on. Bring it on. Chase for Stenson down again.
Arsenal fan top 4.
Well, I was 64 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I mean, it's nice to come into this stretch and feel like you, as I said earlier, you can salvage something out of 2014, and to go 6th, 2nd, and it'd be nice to win this week and move nicely up that board. So that's the goal for this week.
Steve.
curious, have you heard any updates on the sales of the book? I know those things are there can be
The
some lag time.
book's doing nicely.
Yeah, about what you expected. Do you have any idea on the numbers, and is it moving in kind of UK, US? What are you hearing?
I'm doing my launch next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the UK. So I'll be up and down the country, London, Manchester, back to London.
Like book signings and stuff.
Book signings. So I guess the real, I mean, I kind of know the numbers, but I mean, you know, the real test is once I get back to the UK and I've done some media there. I've been able to spend some time with the guys buying the books, and hopefully get a bit more of a push leading into Christmas. But right now the book's doing fantastic. You know, very happy with how it's gone down so far. Been signing books this week from spectators that have come out on holiday, which is lovely. So they've picked it up on the way out and wanted me to sign in the hotel and various places. So you know, it's been very well received.
You kind of made a self-deprecating note a few years back